good morning, boys and girls. Today we are on lesson 158 for arithmetic. We are going to learn how to change fractions to decimals. Before we start that, let's go over our concept cards. Area of a square, area of a rectangle, perimeter of a square, perimeter of a rectangle, 0.029, 0.531, 0.009, 0.07, 0.001, 0.139, 0.01, 0.21, 0.1, 5 and 3/7, 9 and 1/6, 8 and 2/9, 4 and 4/5, 2, 4 and 1/6, 3 and 3/4, 3, 4, 5. Okay, very good, thank you. Now we are going to go ahead and start with a lesson. Okay, so today we are going to change fractions to decimals. And how do we do this? We do this by dividing, okay? So it says, to change a common fraction to a decimal, you divide the numerator by the denominator. And you add the necessary zeros to the numerator. So to change a fraction to a decimal, you are going to divide the numerator by the denominator. So on our first example here, it says 3/4. So you put 4 divided by 3, and you are going to automatically add zeros after the 3. You divide the number 3 by the denominator 4. Before an exact answer is found, 2 zeros are added. 3 divided by 8 equals 8 divided by 3. I should say 3/8, I'm sorry. It's 8 divided by 3. You divide the numerator 3 by the denominator 8. Before an exact answer is found, 3 zeros are added. Learn this fraction decimal equivalents that are used often. So here you have a list of the most common ones. So this is a good idea for you to remember them. 1/2 equals 0.5. 1/4 equals 0.25. 3/4 equals 0.75. 1/5 equals 0.2. 2/5 equals 0.4. 3/5 equals 0.6. 4/5 equals 0.8. 1/8 equals 0.125. 3/8 equals 0.375. 5/8 equals 0.625, and 7/8 equals 0.875. Okay, so let's look at some practice. We have here, change these fractions to decimals. So the first one is 1/4. So 1/4, if we look at the list of the most often used, that we know that that's going to be 0.25, okay? The next one, 7/8. Again, if we look at the list of the most often used, we know that that's going to be 0.875. If we look at the next one, 3/10. If we look at 3/10, we outside, and then the 3 in the inside, all right? So what I want to do is that if I divide that, and remember you need to add a 0 to this, that's going to give me 3. 3 times 0 is 0, 3 times 1 is 3. So 0.3 should be 3 over 10. The next one, 7 over 20. If I do this, it's going to be 20 divided by 7. And remember, I need to add 2 zeros to this. I added 2 zeros. And the 20 goes into the 70 3 times. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 2 is 6. And that is going to give me 10. Plus I have the 0 that I have to bring down. So then I have 100, and that's going to give me 5. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 2 is 10. So that would be 0.35, okay? So 7 over 20 is 0.35. And the rest, I'm pretty sure that you're capable of doing on your own. So make sure that you finish that up. I am going to go to number 2. It says, round off to the nearest tenth. Remember, the 10th place is the number right after the decimal. That's the 10th place. So I have an 8 after the 5. So then I could go ahead and round off to 6, 0.6. Letter B, 0.29. I want to see if I could round the 2 up. If I look to the right, I have a number that is more than 5, so that 2 is going to convert into 3. So that's 0.3. Letter C, 1.51. Again, the number 5 is in the place of the tens. So if I look to the right and I have a 1, this number is going to stay the same. It's going to be 1.5. Okay? Let's look at number 3. Round off to the nearest hundredth. So I have 0.675. My hundredth place is the second number after the decimal. So the first number after the decimal was the 10th place. The next number in the second place after the decimal, that's the hundredth. So 0.675, I want to round up the 7. I'm going to look to the right, and because it's a 5, that's going to convert into 0.68. Again, on letter B, 0.204. I looked, and because the number on the right is a 4, that's going to stay the same, so it's 0.20. On C, 1.316. I look, and the number on the right is a 6, so that could go up 1.32, okay? And you're going to finish the rest on your own. Number 4, you're going to round off to the nearest whole number. So I have 13 and 1/4. That's going to stay as the 13, because remember we said that if it's half or more, it's going to round up. So number B, letter B, 5 and 1/9, that stays as a 5. Letter C, 8 and 3/11, that's going to stay as an 8. Letter D, 6 and 7/9, that's going to be 7. And letter E, 1 and 2/3, that's going to go up to 2. Okay? Okay, so here, let's look at number 5, the story problem. The story problem says, Brooke bought 8 yards of cloth at $3.95 per yard. What was the total cost of the cloth? So if you this is an estimate. So if you pretty much try to figure out how much is $3.95 per yard times A, that is closest to 32. For letter B, it says 8 and bud, 1.5 pounds of grape at $1.48 per pound. Was his change from what was his change from $5? So you estimate more or less that's going to be $3. Okay? The rest of this page you are going to do on your own. Make sure that you finish the exercises that we did not go over on 1, 2, and 3 because we did completely 4. So make sure that you go over that. And I will see you back for the next lesson tomorrow. Bye bye.